Norovirus causes diarrhea and vomiting and is one of the most common stomach bugs in the UK. It's also called the winter vomiting bug because it's more common in winter, although you can catch it at any time of the year. Norovirus can be very unpleasant but usually clears up by itself in a few days. You can normally look after yourself or your child at home. Avoid going to your GP, as norovirus can spread to others very easily. Symptoms of norovirus: you're likely to have norovirus if you experience suddenly feeling sick, projectile vomiting, watery diarrhea. Some people also have a slight fever, headaches, painful stomach cramps and aching limbs. The symptoms appear 1 to 2 days after you become infected and typically last for up to 2 or 3 days. How is norovirus spread? Norovirus spreads very easily in public places such as hospitals, nursing homes and schools. You can catch it if small particles of vomit or stools poo from an infected person get into your mouth through close contact with someone with norovirus, who may breathe out small particles of the virus that you then inhale touching contaminated surfaces or objects, as the virus can survive outside the body for several days eating contaminated food, which can happen if an infected person doesn't wash their hands before preparing or handling food. Norovirus is most infectious from the start of symptoms until 48 hours after all symptoms have stopped. You may also be infectious for a short time before and after this. You can get norovirus more than once because the virus is always changing and your body is unable to build up long-term resistance to it. Preventing norovirus: it's not always possible to avoid getting norovirus, but following the advice below can help stop the virus spreading. You should stay off work or school until at least 48 hours after the norovirus symptoms have stopped. Avoid visiting anyone in hospital during this time. Wash your hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water, particularly after using the toilet and before preparing or handling food. Be aware alcohol-based hand gels don't kill the virus. Maintain basic hygiene and cleaning to help stop the spread of norovirus by disinfecting any surfaces or objects that could be contaminated, using a bleach-based household cleaner. Washing any items of clothing or bedding that could have become contaminated separately on a hot wash 60°C to ensure the virus is killed. Not sharing towels and flannels. Flushing any poo or vomit in the toilet and cleaning the surrounding area with a bleach-based household cleaner. Avoiding eating raw, unwashed food. Only eating oysters from a reliable source, as they can carry norovirus. What to do if you have norovirus: if you experience sudden diarrhea and or vomiting, the best thing to do is to stay at home until you're feeling better. There's no treatment for norovirus, so you have to let it run its course. You don't usually need to get medical advice unless there's a risk of a more serious problem. To help ease your own or your child's symptoms, drink plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration. You need to drink more than usual to replace the fluids lost from vomiting and diarrhea, as well as water. Adults could also try fruit juice and soup. Avoid giving fizzy drinks or fruit juice to children, as it can make their diarrhea worse. Babies should continue to feed as usual, either with breast milk or other milk feeds. You can also take paracetamol for any fever or aches and pains. Get plenty of rest. Use special rehydration drinks, available from community pharmacies if you have signs of dehydration, such as a dry mouth or dark urine. If you feel like eating, try plain foods, such as soup, rice, pasta and bread. Babies and young children, especially under a year old, have a greater risk of becoming dehydrated. When to get medical advice: you don't normally need to see your GP if you think you or your child has norovirus, as there's no specific treatment for it. Antibiotics won't help because norovirus is caused by a virus. Won't help because